what people will want to know, what members of the public will want to know, is whether Rupert and James Murdoch, and indeed Rebekah Brooks, have some remorse for what happened and are willing to apologise and say that they have let down the British people and indeed all the victims of phone hacking, and also to account for what they knew about phone hacking and when they knew it. And I'm sure they're the kind of questions that they'll be asked.
It may be that they've received legal advice saying try and say as little as possible because, after all, there's a police investigation going on. There's going to be this big public inquiry, judicial inquiry. Would it be acceptable in your view if they decide not to say very much?
Well, clearly they won't want to prejudice the police investigation, and that's completely understandable. But I think there are legitimate questions about how this was allowed to carry on for so long, because it's not like people didn't know about these allegations, and News International, the organisation run by Rupert Murdoch, seems to have been in denial about these allegations for a long time. And I think what people will want them to say is not just why it happened in the first place, but why it wasn't cleared up. Years and years of denial, years and years of saying that it was a small problem, rogue reporters and all of that. So I think they need to come clean on those kind of issues.
But the reality is surely that in a select committee hearing where each of them is going to be there for about half an hour, maybe a bit longer, the ground they'll be able to cover is pretty limited. Shouldn't the select committees simply leave all of this to the police investigation and the wider judicial inquiry?
Well, clearly the police inquiry and the judicial inquiry are very, very important. But I think Parliament has shown over the last couple of weeks a welcome sense that it must hold the powerful people in our country to account. And so this is a relatively short amount of time that the witnesses will be before the committee. But I think it's right that Parliament is holding them to account as part of that process that we need, which is getting everything out into the open. And I think today will make a contribution to that.